Let's just get this out of the way. Harry and Meghan are well aware of what they're doing. The latest controversy isn't about a Netflix doc or an explosive Oprah interview. Rather, it's about a twerking video that was shared with the world. You believe that sex work is beneath some people? If so, are you a member of the British royal family? If so, you probably shouldn't be a hooker. As you are already aware, the internet had a field day with it. While some people defended them and others smiled, many others rolled their eyes and inquired, "What are these two doing?" Let's face it, the video itself wasn't the main topic. Meghan Markle twerking in what appears to be a genuine, cozy family moment isn't the most bizarre thing ever, but as soon as it was made public, it was painted as tacky attention-seeking. And now for the controversy trailer trash. Yes, a columnist said that, which caused even more chaos because it obviously did. But all of a sudden it wasn't. It was no longer about twerking, but rather class, race, respectability, and the constantly disorganized UK media. Here, they are at Disneyland, posting images of their children on social media for millions of people to view. This isn't the first time the Sussexes have been the target of criticism, but there's a pattern that makes it difficult to overlook. Whenever Harry and Meghan attempt to do something relatable, like a podcast, a Disney vacation, a jam launch, or a selfie with their children, it somehow backfires and people accuse them of pursuing notoriety. As they yell about privacy, it seems like everything they do is turned into evidence that they are hypocrites. Perhaps there is some truth to that, but it's also obvious that many people simply cannot stand them no matter what they do. Let's talk about the video where Meghan was dancing and Harry was standing awkwardly close by. Someone, possibly them or their team, decided it was worth posting online. The response was immediately divided. Supporters said it was adorable and gave a glimpse into their happy little family life in California, while critics said he is the one who keeps causing the royal family great harm because he is the king's son and he keeps whacking them away. The king won't even see him. It was dishonorable and humiliating, especially for a couple who established their reputation on monarchy, restraint, and class. Let's not pretend that the language wasn't loaded when Miley Cyrus twerked at the 2013 VMAs. It was interpreted as rebellious and wild. Kinsey, the trailer trash label, fueled the flames and started a whole new debate about what that phrase even means when it's directed at a biracial woman like Meghan. You see the double standard when Meghan does it in a grainy home video, right? Many of Meghan's supporters did, pointing out how quickly public opinion shifts when race is brought up. The same moves, the same style, and the same vibe are viewed through two completely different lenses depending on who is doing it, which leads us to the true problem. The never-ending public relations battle between the Sussexes and, well, everyone else, including the British tabloids, the monarchy, the general public, and even other celebrities. It seems like they can't win, but they're not backing down. Not after Netflix, not after Spotify, and definitely not after that infamous South Park roast. If anything, they're leaning in even harder, dropping little slices of their carefully curated life in Montecito with just enough emojis. One minute, they're releasing carefully posed photos from Disneyland with their kids' faces covered in emojis, and the next, they're being dragged for exploiting their kids. Whether on purpose or not, controversy to maintain their name trend keeps the circus going, and we all manage to keep watching. The royal institution doesn't forget, and it certainly doesn't forgive easily. And when you're the king's son, everything you do gets magnified, especially when it involves lawsuits, memoirs, and public fallout. Harry is dealing with his own storm, while Meghan is being criticized for her tacky vibes and social media presence. He's also stuck in an endless tug-of-war with the family he left behind. While Meghan's detractors call her thirsty, Harry's detractors believe he has completely lost the plot. One thing that keeps coming up is privacy. They wanted it so badly that they uprooted their lives, fled the palace gates, and settled in a California mansion with a chicken coop and ocean views. But every few months they return. The monarchy is now portrayed as a bitter outsider, not just because he left the UK, but also because of how he left. This is evident in the tell-all interviews, the documentary series, and the constant hints at betrayal, racism, and emotional trauma. They intentionally put themselves in the spotlight by posting a baby picture, a video, and a headline, then acting shocked when the world reacts. The backlash comes from royalists, journalists, and even former friends. Everyone has an opinion about how Harry and Meghan should act, and nobody seems to agree. Now, the conversation has taken an odd turn, with people debating whether they're Children are even legally entitled to the throne because some conspiracy theorists claim Meghan didn't carry the babies herself, and that they were born via. Although surrogacy may sound crazy, there are now discussions concerning whether it might impact a child's royal legitimacy if it weren't based in deeper ugliness, racism, misogyny, and a desire to discredit her at every turn. This type of supposition would be absurd. And then there's the jam. No, really, Meghan sent out jars of her luxury handcrafted organic preserve and jam as PR samples to celebrities and influencers, but no one was interested in her jam. It's all smoke and mirrors and illusion, a host mocked, of achievement, not a real effect. Meghan's side says it sold out fast. Critics say she probably made 10 jars and labeled it a sellout. It's petty, but it illustrates where things stand. Everything. She just gets torn apart, mocked, and put into some cynical narrative. They were criticized for posting their children online and demanding privacy, saying that they were using their children to promote themselves. Critics said that they should either protect them or not, but Meghan's supporters contend that there is a difference. Even their trip to Disneyland wasn't safe. Cute family day covered faces. Harmless, right? Between having your life ruined by paparazzi and having to decide what to share, even her decision to use emojis on her children's faces has now become a talking point. The worst part is that it seems like nothing will ever be enough. Not even silence, selfies, or jam jars will change public opinion. They're stuck in a narrative from which they can't break, whether they play the game or leave. And some people are already speculating about what the next stunt will be, a leaked sex tape or a presidential campaign. Nothing is off the table anymore. Truth and motive aren't even relevant. What began as a fairy tale romance has now become a chaotic reality show with every new episode more bizarre than the last, and people continue to watch it because they can't stop staring at it, not because they care, but because they can't turn away. The Sussex brand is now a machine, and machines don't care who they run over. There is a running joke online that Harry and Meghan are one viral moment away from launching an OnlyFans or starring in a mockumentary about their fall from grace. It's half funny, half sad, because that's how far public perception has changed. She has tried her hand at producing podcasts, hinted at her political aspirations, and now there is even talk of a hotel somewhere in Montecito, apparently because nothing screams authenticity like luxury accommodations funded by royal exit money. She seems determined to regain some sort of brand power, whether it is through her polished Instagram feeds, soft-focus family photos, or her attempts to launch lifestyle products and media ventures. The issue isn't ambition, but rather the disconnect. These ventures always seem to feel a bit too well planned, a little too pretentious, and when they fail, which many of them do, they provide the following reasons. The children's book had significance. The podcast found its audience. The jam was a passion project, and so on. It's a vicious cycle of publicity, criticism, defense, and silence until the next release. His connection with King Charles is apparently non-existent. He hardly speaks to Prince William. His father is battling illness, and he hasn't even met his grandkids. Meanwhile, Harry is stuck in a role he never asked for, that of the rogue prince who can't stop breaking bridges. Tabloid material. That's tragic, but in the echo chamber of royal drama, it's just another line in the script. What makes Harry's position so precarious is that despite his fame and loud criticism of the institution that keeps him bound by royal blood, he is still the king's son, and people care about what he does because they know deep down that his actions are what give them weight and why they hurt so much. The idea that the monarchy should simply remove their titles and be done with it has been raised a lot. It would solve a lot of problems. Allowing Harry and Meghan of Montecito to be full-time influencers with chickens and jam will finally end the strange identity crisis they're in, but the titles are sticky and they have influence even in America, so without them, the Sussex brand loses some of its shine. It's unclear what their ultimate goal is. Do they want to make amends in the eyes of the public, build a billion-dollar brand, blend in with the background, and raise their children in peace? At this point, it seems as though even they are unaware that they're caught in a never-ending cycle of reaction, justification, and pursuit. The world is growing weary. Even the media, which used to salivate over every news, is growing bored, and the indignation cycles are shorter. This is something that cannot be represented with filtered photographs and sentimental phrases. The scandals go away more quickly. Meghan uploads a fresh image. The true danger, not the criticism but the apathy, is when everyone shrugs when Harry does a new interview. Because once everyone stops caring, there will be no ovation or encore, just silence. And for a couple who have built an empire on being seen and heard, that might be the cruelest conclusion of all. Ball.